What's up, everybody? One Fun Guy podcast just coming at you for a quick live. I was supposed to be live with Danny tonight. She was in a soccer accident. She got injured playing a game, so she's pretty banged up. We're going to reschedule, so I'm just kind of hanging out tonight, guys. The video I did over on YouTube is uploading, or on Facebook is uploading to YouTube now, so I'm just kind of hanging out. Just asking a favor, guys, if you see this, if you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, One Fun Guy podcast. I'm trying to get to 300 as soon as I can, and then from there I'm going to try to go to 500 and then 1,000 as quickly as I can get there. So if you guys are on live now, that'd be awesome. I'm going to share this out to a few people. If they're on, they could hop on with me. That would be fantastic. If they don't, it's not a big deal. I'm just trying to see who's out there and what's going on. So I'm doing my best just to get my stuff out there to see who is on and about and doing all the stuff with TikTok here. So if you're on, say hi. Follow me. I'll follow you back. Jack, I see you hopped on. Jackie, what's going on? If you guys are on and you like what you see, guys, I'm not asking to tap the screen or send me likes or gifts or anything like that. Really, I just want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you could do that, notoriously, what's up? LaQuincy, what's happening, my boy? Man, it's been a quick minute. How you been? Hales, what's going on? So if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel, that's what I really want. If you guys send me gifts and you guys do all the stuff, that's awesome. I really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I really, really do. But subscribing to my YouTube channel is what I need everybody to do. If you can send that out and message people and repost my stuff, that links up my YouTube channel. That helps me out tremendously. So if you can do that for me, that would be great. Like I said, I appreciate all the gifts. I appreciate all the hearts, all the love and support, guys. It goes a long way. Truly, honestly, I mean it. But I'm really focused on growing my YouTube channel, and this is a great platform for me to network on, which is why I love TikTok. However, I just don't use it for that. I don't do anything with my podcast on here except promote it on YouTube. So I know it messes up the algorithm, and it's been, same. Working, staying out of trouble, and keeping the head up is really all you could do. Hawkett, what's up? Yeah, that's it. Just keep it on the grind, right? I'm doing the podcast as a side thing for fun. It's growing well. I'm hoping one day I could monetize it. That's my goal, is to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, where at least the little bit of money I make off of it, I can just reinvest it into my podcast. That's what I really want to do, is take every dollar that I get from my podcast, from being it monetized, and upgrading my laptop, upgrading my microphone, upgrading my lighting, my sound, my speakers, I have a little Bluetooth speaker here. It does phenomenal. But I would love to get a JBL, right? Or I'd love to get, but I don't have $300 to go buy a Bose, Bluetooth speaker or anything like that. I wish I did. I just don't have the extra money laying around. So I use what I can. I mean, I have a good lighting setup. I have a good ring light. I have good lighting, so it's not any of that, but I'd like to have better, right? I just don't have the money to drop. I bought a $200 Chromebook at Walmart, and it does everything I need it to do. But would I love to have, the new MacBook? Sure, right? But I don't have the means to do that. But once I get it, I'm just going to dump everything back into my podcast to make it a better user experience for me and you. Have a better sound quality, have a better, experience overall. So that's really it, guys. I just wanted to hop on live real quick just to, say what's up and see who else was on. And if anybody wanted to jump on with me, they're welcome to. I'm just kind of hanging out, having a quick, easy, Tuesday night. It's going to be midweek tomorrow. I did take Friday off of work, so I do have the weekend off, so that's kind of nice. So I'm looking forward to doing my podcast on Friday, my entertainment on Saturday. And I put this out there, and I don't know if you guys would be interested in seeing this or not, but a couple of the guys that I follow do it. If I were to pick a destination, let's just say within an hour, right? And I had you guys along for the ride, is that be something you guys would want to be interested in? Becky, what's up? If I took you guys along, so let's just say I let you guys pick a spot, right? I'll throw it out there. I live in the suburbs of Chicago. So let's say I wanted to take a trip out to Rockford. That's about an hour and 20 minutes away from my house. And let's just say I was going to go and get some cookies that they make there. these delicious stuffed cookies. They look phenomenal. I have not tried them yet. So I was thinking was going live, having you guys come along for the ride with me out there, having you come into the store with me to buy the cookies, have a taste of one while I'm there, and then have you guys drive back home with me. That would be about 2.5 hours, let's just say. An hour to get there, let's just say 10 or 15 minutes to order the cookies, 5 minutes to eat one, and then an hour drive back home while I'm there. Is that something you guys would want to do? And then maybe every Saturday morning I just pick a different adventure. So it would be something where I could say, okay, guys, I have these 5 spots. You guys pick this one of the 5, and I'll go to that one, and I'll have you guys come with me. I'll have you guys do everything with me, and then I'll have you guys ride home with me, and we can talk about whatever we want. Now, the difference is that if I do that while I'm driving, I don't want to have it focused on the road. So I would have it set up where it follows me here, but you can't see the road because I don't obviously want to get banned. However, it would be difficult for me to read, obviously, the comments while I'm driving. So I'm just kind of curious to see how it would work by myself without having anybody else in the vehicle with me, where if somebody else was with me, they could read the comments to me, and then I can interact with you guys. So it's not really dangerous per se, but there's no audio to read what you guys are saying to me so I could hear it. So I thought it would be cool just to kind of get like an insight of like what I do. And I like taking little like road adventures while I'm driving, right? So that's kind of like my thing, right? So I wake up in the morning, and before the rest of my household gets up, it's boring for 2 or 3 or 4 hours. So normally I just kind of pick a spot to go. Now, it doesn't necessarily always have to be food related. I like going to the nature center. I like going to the state park. I like going down by the river. I like going, to the lake. I like doing all that stuff too. But I just thought it would be cool if I had somewhere specific in mind to go, and then take you guys on the adventure with me, and then allow you guys to be a part of what I'm doing. And it's nothing like, out of the world extraordinary, right? It's not like I'm in Vegas and I have like the casinos to like walk you guys through or show you anything. But I just figured, while it was nice to have a little road trip down the road. Now, I don't know how it's going to work. So what I was going to do was just try to test it this Saturday. Like I said, I was going to go to a town called Rockford. It's about an hour and 5 minutes away from me. And they have this gourmet cookie shop there where they stuff their cookies. So think of it like a crumble on steroids. That's the best way to describe it. But I would just kind of want to go there and walk in and order some cookies. Like, I'm not going to do a full-on food review. But, I would just tell you if they're good or not, and I'd recommend it if you were in the area. I know Rockford has a big convention center, so a lot of people travel there around the country because it's pretty popular if they're not going to the heart of Chicago, which is, again, about an hour and 45 minutes east of me. So I just thought that it would be just kind of cool to see if it would be an adventure that you guys would want to do. I don't know how it works. I've watched a couple truckers on here where they actually have the camera facing towards the road, and then they kind of like are interactive that way. I just don't know, if I mounted the camera up facing the road, how I would read the comments on a phone. They're small enough on my iPad, which is 11.2 inches. I can only imagine what it would be on a 6.7 inch iPhone 14 Pro Max screen. So I don't know if it's something that's going to be reasonable, if I could even do it. So I thought maybe I would just test it out and see if anybody was interested in taking a little adventure with me this weekend on Saturday morning. I would drive out to get these cookies, try them, show you guys what it looks like, and stay live the entire time. And then when I'm done, pop the phone back in the holder and drive home. I don't know if that's something you guys would even remotely consider. I know LaQuincy said it was a great idea, but I just don't know how it's going to work if I could read the comments and I can see what's going on, right? So what I'd like to do is put the phone like on the dash where it's out of sight, out of mind. So it's still hands-free, but the camera faces me, if that makes any sense. So I don't know. It's just, I'm going to have to try to plan this more strategically and see how it is. But if it works, I think it'd be just kind of cool, right? Just one, every weekend, just wake up. I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max, the 6.7. So it's the bigger of the iPhones, but it's still not as big as the tablet. But I just don't know how the comments would be. Like if I drove and I had it pointed at me, if I would be able to read the comments as they're coming in, because obviously I would have to still keep my eyes on the road. I'm driving, so I don't know how it would be other than that, if not seeing it. But it's just kind of an idea that I had that, like I said, I see these truckers on here that get, hundreds of people following them as they're taking a road trip with the camera facing the road, and they're just driving along. I don't know if this will get me in trouble doing that or if it regulates speed. I have no idea. I just thought it'd be kind of cool just to see. I mean, if worse goes to worse, I guess I could just go live if something happens when I'm there, and then, talk to you guys while I'm having the cookie, and then just kind of, maybe stay there for like a half an hour and then drive back. I could do that as well, but I thought it'd just be cool to take the adventure there, right? Just as I'm cruising along. But I don't know how it's going to work. Like I said, I don't want to get in trouble. And obviously I don't want to get, any violations or anything like that, because I need this to promote my podcast. So I'm just throwing out some ideas of stuff that I thought would be cool, just because I do on the mornings take little adventures. Coffee and Curls, what's up? That's a great name. Am I following you? I don't know. If I'm not, I will. But yeah, so I don't know. I just thought that'd be kind of a cool idea, just because I like taking little road trips. Christy, what's up? I like taking little road trips anyways. Nothing, like I said, extravagant. Melissa, what's up? It's not like a 2 or 3 hour road trip. They're like 45 minutes. I'll just drive to the river, or I'll go somewhere that I haven't been before, and I'll just kind of drive around and scope it out and then drive back. I just kind of like taking these little trips. So I thought it would just be kind of cool. Third Vision Fishing, what's up? Did the first and second not work out? I have a very short span for fishing. I really enjoy it, but I get pissed off quick. After a while of about 30 or 40 minutes of throwing the line out and not getting anything, I'm cursing up a storm. And then I usually pack it up and go. And then the next guy that comes, or gal comes after me, usually catches something, so I get even more upset. So as much as it's peaceful and relaxing, I probably get higher blood pressure leaving than I do starting off. Tammy, what's up? So yeah, so I don't know. I just thought it'd be an interesting idea, kind of a cool concept. I don't know if it's something I figure I'd at least try to do and see what I could come up with and go from there. I don't know who else is on. I'm just sending some invites out. So but yeah, if you guys are on here, guys, and you like what you see, if you guys can subscribe to my podcast, that would be great. I don't even know who's on. Share this out with a few people. Actually, I'm going to see if Mike's on. I'd like to have him come on with me. I went to high school with him. He's Mike's Crappies Fishing. If you guys haven't done that. If you have Bluetooth, you should be able to set it. Maybe I could do that. You know what I'll do? I'll mess around with it on Friday. I'm off. So while I'm traveling around. But I have the Apple CarPlay, the wireless one, so it automatically hooks up to it when I'm there. I just don't know if I get it to where it could read back to me. But I'll figure it out. If anybody knows, shoot me a message, let me know. But I'll definitely play around with it and see what I can do, because I think it's just kind of a cool concept to do. But I do have a newer Nissan Frontier, and it does have the Apple CarPlay wireless, so it connects right to it. But if it reads the messages out to me, that would be even better, because then I could just interact with you guys, and it'd be really fun. I mean, I don't know who's going to be up at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning. I'm in the Central Time Zone. I know I have a lot of followers that are an hour ahead of me out east, but I know I have a lot of followers out west too, which would be like they're 6 o'clock. So I don't even know if people would be up. I mean, I guess it's worth a shot, right? Just to see what happens. I don't know. It's just something I thought would be kind of cool because I do it anyway. So I figured, as I'm trying to get my hours up for my new agency, they require that you do 20 hours a month live, and I'm just short of that. Last month I was at like 18.4, and if I don't hit the 20, then they kind of don't really respond to you as much. Once you hit the 20 or more, I just don't have the dedicated time to go live for 2 or 3 hours on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, to where I can get 6 hours, a weekend, and then, put out, every weekend, so I could hit 24, 25, 26 hours. I mean, I guess I could kind of split it up, maybe do an hour in the morning, hour at night. But even then, it seems like I would have to do it like 3 times a day for 3 hours in order to get my numbers up to where I'd want them to be. So I don't know. I just thought it'd be kind of cool, since I normally take these road trips anyways on one weekend morning, that I would just have you guys come along with me, and then I could be interactive that way. And like I said, that's 2 hours, an hour there and an hour back. So that would already put me at my, at my peak. So I'm kind of thinking that would be, kind of a good way to do it. And if I could, do it that way, I definitely would. So I don't know. It was just a thought. I'm just trying to get, my stuff going up. Jessica, what's up? If you guys haven't followed me, guys, follow me and I'll follow you back. It's all about making friends, and everybody I can get on here as a follower is one step closer to my goal, and getting my podcast really up and running. So if you guys haven't followed me, follow me. I'll follow you back. It's pretty simple. I do podcasts like this, guys, from my studio. I go live from my studio. I'm here. So Natalie, what's up? So this is kind of it. What you see is what you get. This is my setup. When I go live, 99% of the time I'm here. I'm in my studio and I'm just kind of hanging out, waiting for my videos to upload to YouTube. I put everything I do up there. So this video will be up there. My Facebook from earlier was up there, my live. And so everything I do lives on YouTube. So everything that I create, every piece of content that I make goes over there. So it's kind of like a journal for me, right? So when I first started to where I'm at now, so everything I post goes up there. And I'm just trying to grow my channel, guys. That's really it. I started the podcast and it's awesome. I've had a great run. I'm on episode 24, which by the end of the month I'll be at episode 30, because I have some that I'm doing twice on a weekend, which I don't really want to do, but I think just for circumstances I'm going to go do that, and then that way I can still keep it going. And then next year what I'm going to do is I'm just going to schedule one a week, whether it's a Friday night or a Saturday night or a Sunday morning, and I'm just going to do one a week from there. And then like I said, right now I already have guests lined up through October, going into November. So and I still have about 30 people on my list that I haven't even, that I've reached out to and they said yes. I still have a bunch of people that I want to recap again and have them on, because we ran out of time and they still have stuff to say. So it's going strong, guys. It's been an awesome experience. So yeah, but what's up?
Hey, you want to battle?
Sure, why not? So for everybody who's on with me, my podcast will be Friday night with Danny, and then I will be on Saturday and Sunday live as well. Hey, Blue, have you ever gone live from your vehicle?
Yeah.
How did that work? Because I had an idea with the people that follow me about taking like a mini adventure, because normally on the weekends I get in my truck and I'll go somewhere and then I'll hang out and then I'll come home. And I just joined a new agency and they require 20 hours a month, but I only really go live on the weekends. I really don't go live during the weeknight. Just happened to be a rare occasion where I did a podcast. So I was kind of hoping that I could get somebody who's gone live on their car. Do you have to do anything like specific, or is there like a camera angle you're supposed to use or not use?
It's not that, but you got to put the green screen on, because is your car going to be moving or parked?
It'll be moving, but I have a truck and I wanted to just point the camera like right at me where it won't see behind me. It'll just be kind of me. So
You
I don't
can
know if
try
that's
that,
gonna.
but sometimes they can see, and you need something. You need a green screen behind you.
Okay.
If you don't want to put like the gingerbread man on, if you put a green screen behind you, it should be okay. Just
All
make
right.
sure you
Maybe
put
I'll.
one that they can't see through, because that's when they're going to get you.
Okay, because I know like a lot of the truckers face the camera like pointing the road, and like they don't ever seem to have any issues. But
Right.
I don't know if it would be more valuable for me to point it at the road as I'm driving, or if it's something that I should like just keep on me to interact with the people that yeah, I don't know. I'm just
Right.
trying to figure it out. I don't know.
Thank you for the hearts. Yeah, no, you just got to be careful. That's all, because they'll get you.
Sure.
They're really big on it right now with the car.
Yeah, I figured as much. I was gonna, like I said, I was just kind of like risk versus reward it, right, to see what happens because it's what I normally do on a weekend day,
Right.
anyways. Like I just get in my truck and go somewhere. So I just thought it'd be kind of cool because I need to up my numbers for the agency, and I really
Right.
only go live on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. But last
Okay.
weekend I did 2 hours on Friday night. I did an hour before my podcast, an hour after my podcast. Saturday I did 3 hours, and Sunday I did 3 hours. So
Okay.
I know I'll get enough time doing that, but it took everything out of me. By Sunday night, I was like, man, I spent a lot of time on this and I really didn't want to do that. But I figured if I
Right.
was able to do it Saturday for at least an hour there and an hour back, that's 2 hours. And I always go live after my podcast, which would be
Right.
another hour. So I'd get three on Saturday just doing stuff I would normally do, as opposed to like setting an entire afternoon out to go live for
No,
3 hours.
yeah, right. So, Maddie with the Forever Rosa. What the fuck? Thank you for thank you for lighting my gallery up. It is.
So I
Um,
don't know. I just thought I'd try to find somebody else who had done it. I reached out to a few truckers to ask them, but nobody responded back.
right, right. Uh, you can do it if you can keep it, still, but still, if they see movement, they're gonna get
Yeah.
you. But you're in an agency, so you have protection, though. It can get you back up, quicker.
Yeah. So I just didn't know if there was a way to do it where it was like safe or like acceptable where I wouldn't get dinged for anything.
Like I said, if you have a back screen on, the green screen. If you put the green
Yeah.
screen on, you
Right.
can use that. You'll still see you, but you'll have the picture behind you,
Sure.
and it won't show through the car at all. Or you have to do like the gingerbread, or you can do that little beaver chipmunky thing. But then that's
Yeah.
covering you.
Sure.
So you're better off with the
What
green screen.
what about if the camera faces the road?
Nope. Don't nanny you.
Okay. Because
It's a
I like I said,
distraction for the driver.
because I see those truckers do it all the time, and they're live for like 4 or 5 hours, and nothing ever seems to happen to them. And the one dude does it like every day. He's an over the road
Right.
trucker, so he drives from like the last time I watched him, he was on his way from Kentucky to Louisiana, which was about six
Hmm.
and a half hours away, and he had it on
Okay.
the entire time.
You know
F1
what? You just
education.
gotta
That'd
watch.
be pretty cool, right?
That's the thing. You just gotta watch.
Yeah, I like I said, I just don't want to get in any violation, but at the same time, it's like you watch these guys do it pretty much on the daily, and it seems like nothing ever happens to
Right.
them. So I
Yeah,
don't know,
yeah.
it's
You
just
just gotta be
weird.
careful.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
MVP Maddie, you got a glove. Jessica, thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, you just gotta watch. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a chance you take with anything. With
No,
anything on
that's why I
you.
was saying like, and I don't mind the risk versus reward thing, right? If I got in trouble once, it wouldn't be a big deal, but it's like, I
Right.
just that actually works. Maybe I'll try that. One of the
What do you
guys
think?
on my live said that if you say it's for F1 training purposes or teaching purposes, then you're okay.
Okay. You could
So I don't
try. I
know,
mean, look,
right?
you can't know until you try it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
I mean,
nothing
I'm
you
in a
can do.
Nissan Frontier. I'm not in a McLaren. So might be a little bit different to say F1, but I guess they can't see technically if you're in a cockpit
Right.
or if you're in a truck. So
Right. What agency did you join?
The one that I don't know if you're supposed to say names on here, but it's
Well, yeah, because you have to promote your agent. You know what I mean? You gotta promote them.
yeah. I'm technically not a part of it yet. I applied.
Oh,
Um,
oh, oh.
I dropped my other one, and I have to wait a month to get this one.
Right. Yeah,
So
yeah. So who were
I
you with
did that
before that
already.
then?
But it's
Who were you with prior?
um, what the hell's the guy's name? The one that gives all those gifts away, the cruises and stuff like that.
Cruises.
Yeah, like if you're like one of his top performers, because he's got a couple of guys that make like $100,000 a month on TikTok, and he buys them like cars. Like he bought a guy a Corvette for because I guess he gets a part of it, and
Yeah, they get a, yeah.
he's got a couple of high people that'll make $1 million a year on TikTok for him. So he took everybody that was like a high, I guess a good TikToker on a
Right.
cruise, and he bought it all for him.
Okay.
Trying to find the name of this one here.
That's why I like my
Yeah,
agency because there's no requirements. I don't have to do
yeah.
no 20 hours. I don't have to do none.
I'm gonna see if I can go to my TikTok studio while I'm live if it lets me. And
Let me see if we could do 2B2s. You want to do 2B2s?
yeah,
Only because I have an eight piece, so.
yeah, that's fine. Uh,
Shit.
so it's Suave Social.
Oh, okay. Maddie, you coming up? Continue again.
So that was
Oh,
the one that
seriously.
that was the one I ended up leaving. Just because they didn't really promote me. I did everything I thought I could do with them.
No, I can't do that. I have an eight piece. I have eight nuggies. I can't.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting
okay.
for the two. I want to do 2B2s. But I'm listening to you. I'm waiting to see who's coming up.
Yeah. So,
Um,
anyways, that was the one I left. They just weren't really doing anything for me. And
okay.
then they set up a battle with me, like one of those things. And I normally don't do
Right.
that, right? Like I use TikTok to promote my YouTube podcast. So I
Okay.
don't I battle like, friends, or if somebody asks me to battle,
Right,
like I
right.
definitely will,
But not
right?
no
But
big battle. Right.
so I did a big battle with them, right? And they promoted it and they did everything. And then when I went live, nobody was on.
Right.
Like, and I was like, what's the point? I set up
Right.
and normally like I don't do anything during the week. This is a rare occasion because I did a podcast earlier tonight.
Okay.
So it's very rare that I'm on during the weeknight. I normally only do Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, but it happened to be, I think, like a Thursday night battle, and nobody showed
Okay.
up for me. And I was like, I felt
Wow.
kind of like, I was
Right.
like, what the hell? Like, so I sent him a message, no response back. Um,
Huh.
Nobody on the team seemed to show up. And
Right.
they
That
were
happens a
promoting it.
lot. That
And
happens a
so I
lot
was
though.
like, I'm like, what was the point of that? And so
Right.
then I had somebody flag me in a post that I didn't do anything. I promote my YouTube videos, and so it was during somebody else's live, but I'm friends with them. And I asked them, I'm like, is it okay if I drop my link if somebody says, what's your link? And she said, absolutely. So I dropped it in my link.
What's that?
And when I dropped it in my link, they
Right.
Oh shit! I
basically,
went live on
like,
the
I
wrong.
was flagged for doing it.
That's crazy.
And then when I asked them about it, I was like, I didn't do anything wrong. The person
Right.
said it was okay. It wasn't anything vulgar. It was just my YouTube link with my
Huh.
name on it. And they wouldn't like fight for me. I had to do it myself. So I was like, well, what's the point? So TikTok said, yeah, we made a
Right.
mistake. It was okay. But they didn't do anything. I reached out to them to help me and they didn't help me. So I was like, what's the point of having it? So I just,
Well, yeah, that's the thing. But a lot of the agencies that people don't show up for battles. Like I have a big battle coming up August 25th. I know the people in my agency aren't going to show up. My
yeah,
agent will, but they're not going to show up. If anything, they're going to shoot
right.
against me.
Yeah. So
So,
I don't know. I just thought it was weird. And I was like, what's the point?
right.
So one of my other friends said, join ours and see if you like it. If not, you could always leave. So I did. So I got to wait that 30-day grace period though.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely.
That was rude.
Maddie, what's up?
What's going
What
on?
happened?
No, you covered the thing.
What?
I was joking. Do you have someone to battle with, partner?
I'm trying, but I can't find anybody.
Oh, let me see if I can reach out to somebody. Oh, I just reached out. I don't even know the person. I just
Beaver
thought.
said he's getting on.
What?
Beaver said he's getting on.
Oh, is he? All right. Oh my fucking god.
Huh?
What's up, Miss Lisa? If anybody's on and you guys want to battle, let me know.
My buddy Beaver's coming on.
Awesome.
Coming up, Beaver, come on.
Yeah, Beaver, come on, let's go.
He's still in my chat.
Oh, I fucking. He's in my chat.
He's in everybody's chat. I don't know what that means. He's got like 8 different devices.
I can't. Why can't I just.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Is it.
Speak your mind. You scared my phone. Yeah, this can't be good.
Is there any way to shut off notifications when you're live? That's not Beaver.
I know,
What's up,
Beaver's
Jessica?
asking-
I don't know.
Jessica. Well, Beaver's gonna have to wait a minute, then we'll match one and then we'll come get him. 'Cause I don't know where he
Yeah, you
is.
can definitely win for me because I have nobody.
That's all right. We'll hang out. I don't know how many people I have watching either. You never know. Stranger things could happen.
That's a movie.
Stranger things could happen.
Stranger Things.
That's a TV show, right? The
What's wrong?
Nothing.
What's wrong?
What's up, Jake?
Anyway, how do I shut the alerts off again?
All that TikTok notifications, go to your settings and set off.
No, I want everything. I want no notifications when I'm live.
Right.
For anything. Text, phone call, I don't give a fuck what it is. How do I shut
What
it off?
phone do you have?
iPhone 15 something.
When you go live, make a shortcut, a notification shortcut, and just call it live. And when you're on, hit it. Everything will turn off.
How do I do that?
So if you go to your focus mode here,
Okay, yeah.
click on focus and create one that says live or TikTok or whatever, and turn off all your notifications except for TikTok. So when you're live, nothing else will come on.
Really?
Mhm.
Well, thank you for that.
No problem.
Alrighty then, I learned something new today. Thank you, Jesus, because I can't take the notifications.
So just
It's a distraction. It's a distraction when you're trying to
yeah,
and you just see them all I can't.
sure. So yeah, so
Anyway,
if you
Jessica,
do
what's up?
if you do the focus mode, the only thing it'll say like certain people that you want notifications from or certain apps. Just make sure you put TikTok on there because if you have
Okay,
it, you
so-
won't be able to get on with it. So just allow that to be your only
Okay,
thing open.
gotcha.
It'll basically be like airplane mode.
Right. Okay, that's works for me.
Do you have Wi-Fi?
In my house?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So you could also go Wi-Fi TikTok and turn on airplane mode, and the only thing will be on is this app.
Well, that's what I was that's the only thing I knew to do.
And then, I mean, that's the only other way I could think about not getting notifications while you're live.
But now if I do the other thing, the focus, that shuts off by itself or I have to shut it off?
It'll automatically, when you're done with TikTok, you'll turn it off, and then it'll turn back on, and your
Oh,
phone will
I
act
have
normal.
to turn it off.
Yeah,
I forget sometimes, so I don't want to lock my phone out. You know what I mean?
sure. I think if I'm not mistaken,
It's an option.
I think there's a timer.
What the fuck? fuck?
I don't know what that was, but it was pretty awesome.
That was the goggles. The fuck?
Thank you for whoever sent those. That was pretty sweet.
For the night again? I guess.
What the freak?
Maybe two.
You sleeping out?
The American Dream.
Come on, pumpkin.
That was Dusty Rhodes. If you guys are wrestling fans,
American Nightmare?
American Dream is dad.
Where do you see that?
Somebody posted it on my thing. His name's American Dream. He hopped in my live.
Oh,
So Dusty Rhodes was the American Dream, and Cody's the American Nightmare.
I know Cody's my favorite. And look who I have on today.
Nice. They're killing his brother. I wish he wouldn't do that.
I know, like, what are they doing?
It's a
to
terrible
Tango?
thing.
I know.
It's
I know.
great to have him pay homage, but like, there's no good storyline that's going to make that look good, and it's going to die out, and it's going to look bad for Bray.
I know. I know. He was my favorite. Such a shame he passed away.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Now Cody's my
And his
next
brother's
son.
good, right? Like Bo Dallas is a good wrestler, but
He's
he's just
good,
not
yeah.
Bray. It's just
Right.
it's different, right?
Nobody could ever be anybody. You know what I mean? You can't duplicate
You
them.
know, but to keep it going in the honor is good, but there's no good storyline. There's no outcome that's going to make this do anything.
Nope.
They're never going to give him a title run. They're never going to give him anything.
Nah.
So I don't know what that was. That was pretty cool too. That helmet. Sahara, thank you. Beth, thanks for all the gifts. You're awesome.
Beaver said he's getting in the shower.
Oh, okay.
Beth is the MVP. How are you doing?
Evan?
Jessica, what do you got going on down there?
Where's your
Nothing.
wires?
Dessert.
I just made dinner. Everybody ate.
I don't
Excellent.
know what happened. Go look downstairs in the laundry room. I know I need to do laundry. I'll do it tonight. Edible
What?
J. Nothing. I'm a horrible father.
Cody?
I'm just kidding.
Hey guys, since I have you all on and no one's really saying anything, normally I post all my videos to YouTube. Do you guys mind if I post this, or do you want me to edit this out?
No, I don't care.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I always ask because I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable.
What's the difference where it's posted? Because people post the videos on here anyway if they get big
I
gifts
just-
or whatever. So,
I feel better asking. That way I don't
yeah, no.
ever have
You
to
have my
run into...
approval. You dropped it on my head. It's okay.
Which is pretty much right on par.
What's up, Cody?
Let me guys can tap the screen for me.
Justin, welcome
F
in.
your feelings. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a great name, by the way. I lost the app where you could get those Gothic letters. It used to be free. Now they charge like $50 a year.
Oh, do they?
Give it likes.
Yeah.
Oh. That's what I wanted to do, but I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to change it and use regular letters. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Where are your wires?
Back in the day, it used to be free, so you could put them on there, and now they charge you for it.
Thank you, Beaver.
Oh. I'll give it to you. It's free. I got you. Awesome. Send it to me. That'd be
Yeah,
fantastic.
send it. Hello, send it. Sharon is Karen.
If I get it, I'll send it to you.
Yes, please.
It used to be free. It used to be a really cool app, and it had all the different fonts and the different stuff.
Thank you.
And it had like the Gothic script. It had like the bubbles. It had all kinds of stuff. And then was it the lights, Beth?
No, where is the phone chargers?
Vanessa, what's up?
That's what I meant.
Oh,
Tap my
wait,
screen.
'cause I can't. When it's on this, I can't plug it in the bottom. Very handy.
Tap, tap, tap. Get me off of 0.
The chargers are long, right?
Yes.
The wires are long.
And I believe.
You guys have Five Belows by you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the best place to get chargers.
yes.
Actually, it is and it isn't. Because if you go to Amazon, you can get a double pack of wires. It's cheaper than Five Below for one.
You can
Tap my
sometimes.
screen, please. Please,
Right,
thank
sometimes.
you.
I've noticed
Sometimes.
that the Five Below, because they have the
Tap,
10-foot
tap,
cords,
tap.
which is what I use. And
Right.
those are hard to find on Amazon. Those are like $7.99 for the 10-foot
Right.
ones.
Hello,
Thank you, guys.
Sophia with 5.
Thanks
Tap
for
my
the likes.
screen.
Where's the cute
Hi,
sunflower?
Mason.
But it's not going to matter next year if you get a new iPhone, because I have the 14 and I'm up for the 16 and it's USB Type-C. The Lightning's
Mason,
obsolete.
make sure you charge your phone.
No,
and call
so
me.
is the 15.
Yeah,
The
you still got
15 right
15?
now is, yeah, it's the same shit. It's the same charger as the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Stupid. I mean, it's good and it's bad. I mean, because I have a
Which is
Galaxy
good
too,
because
so.
my iPad is USB Type-C,
Right.
so it'll work
Right.
better.
What's the matter with Mason?
He's in here.
I know.
Nothing's the matter. He's going to his friend's house.
Jessica, what's going on? Nikki, what's happening?
James just said, lost again. Okay.
Brian Damage, Beth and other.
Yeah, Beth is awesome. She's actually going to be a guest on my podcast.
Oh, nice.
What do you talk about?
So it's a conversation style, so it really just depends on who my guest is and what they have going on. So I find a lot of those people on TikTok that do those groups where everybody hops in and everyone joins, they're all friends with each other. So I had a couple of them on just to talk about like the power of networking and the power of this app and like, you know, meeting unique people, because this is really the only app that allows you to do that in a more unique way. I mean, there's a lot of apps that are like, you know, person to person, but this one on a global scale is second to none. I mean, it's the best app to do it. Because Facebook, you're your friends, you know, they're really your friends. It's hard to accept people on Facebook that you don't know, but on here you can meet, you know, all walks of life. And so for me, for having a podcast, it's great for networking.
Definitely.
So I use it as a tool, but I don't really do, like, I don't take it seriously. Like I know a lot of people that go live and they try to build up their numbers and they build, like, I just don't have the time to do that, unfortunately. As much as I'd love to, I just don't.
I hear ya.
And God bless the people that could do, you know, this live for 2 or 3 hours a night. Like, awesome for them. I just unfortunately don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, no, I hear.
You know, I guess it's like anything else, right? If you don't put in the effort, you're not going to get the reward, right? So you got to work at it.
Right. Jess, are you going to Turtles
No, listen,
Lives
what's
or no?
Is she on?
She's getting on. That's what she's asking.
Okay, yeah, I will. I'll get off of here.
You're gonna go battle with her?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
I don't know
I don't
how
know
to
if
get
she
off.
got on yet. Click host. Just click
Oh,
host and then
okay.
X.
Okay. Bye.
You want to go check in with her and then we'll come back?
Yeah.
All right. We'll
All
leave
right,
that up,
guys.
okay?
All
All right,
right,
thanks for
sounds
the
good.
back.
Nice meeting you. I followed you guys,
You
by the way,
too.
too. So
All right, I got
Yes.
you too.
awesome.
Thank
All
you.
right, guys. Hopefully, we'll do it again soon.
All right. I can't get out of here. I gotta get out of here
What?
first. I can't.
Do you need that live? Oh, you got it. All right, awesome. So, again, that's what Beth, thank you for coming through for those. I don't normally battle, guys, so that was completely out of my, I don't know what to say. I know Jessica was like, tap the screen, tap the screen. I don't really battle, so I'm like, I don't know what to say. I just kind of hang in there and talk. But it worked out. I mean, it worked out for the best. Earth Angel, what's up? Reminds me of that old song. I know I'm dating myself, but Back to the Future, Earth Angel, maybe. Romans 12:2, man of faith. I like that. It's so hard to type when you're live on the screen, which is what I'm trying to do. What's up, Brittany? So I'm just hanging out, guys. If you want to hop on with me, just let me know. I'll accept you. I don't really know how much longer I'm going to stay on. Probably maybe 10, 15 minutes if I can do that. I just did a live battle. I don't normally do battles, so I was completely out of place, but it was fun nonetheless. And I met 3 new friends, so that's even better. That's the best part of doing that. They were super cool. I was hoping to get my buddy Mike on with Mike's Crappy Fishing. If you guys don't follow him, follow him. He's hilarious. I went to high school with Mike, excuse me. I'm hoping Kelly comes on with me. That would be awesome. I don't know how to invite him on as a guest. He's not. Let me see if I can find him. I'm gonna see if Tiffany will come on. That might be kind of cool. But yeah, I'm inviting some friends in to see if they hop on with me. If they do, awesome. I don't plan on staying on very long, guys. Maybe just a few more minutes. I invited some friends out. I know Tiffany, what's up? I know Kelly was on, and he's a huge metalhead like I am. And we wanted to go live together on our podcast. He's kind of local to me. Not super close, but not far either. And I was hoping that he would hop on tonight because he posted this really cool thing about like what's the most metal thing you've ever done. He's obviously a hard rock and heavy metal music fan like I am, and we connected. But he was awesome, and he had an event, and they were hanging out. Let's see who's up. Sylvia, what's up? So I was my friend Kelly posted this thing about what's like his most unmetal moment, like being out of the thing. And he said that he was at some German fest and these kids were doing some dance, but they were doing it to Rammstein. So he was like, so I invited him to Kuma's Burger. If you guys are in the Chicagoland area and you know what Kuma's is, they're awesome. They have these gourmet burgers. They're delicious, but they're named after heavy metal bands. So I want to get him to join me to come there to. What's up? Finally.
Did you invite me?
Well, your screensaver was on for
You're
the last
sneaky.
2 minutes.
You're sneaky.
So,
I'm like,
I just
popped up
invited
like,
everybody that was on. I don't know. There's nothing
well,
sneaky
it's like,
about
it's
it.
like, accept your friend's invitation. I'm
What's
like,
up, Preston?
okay.
I invited I started off with my buddy Mike was on. He does Mike's Crappy Fishing.
Okay.
And so he's funny as shit. Like he's a good dude. And I went to high school with him. So we've been friends for a while. But he started this fishing channel where he's a shitty fisherman. And he's like, I'll just go out and, goof around and try to catch fish. But he's like very anecdotal and he's very witty. So his stuff is funny. So me and him, I was like, come on my podcast and talk about it. He was like, oh, I don't know, maybe. So every time he's on, I try to invite him in just so I could try to get him live to do it. Because he makes these great shorts, but he doesn't go live.
Right. Okay.
So I'm trying to get him in that mode to do that, which I don't either. Like I told everybody earlier, this is very uncharacteristic of me to be live on a weeknight. Normally I don't do this.
It is. Yeah. I'm like,
I'll post the video here and there, but I was supposed to have a podcast tonight with my friend Danny, and she sends me a message on Facebook today and says, I don't think I'm going to make it tonight. And I'm like, are you okay? Is everything all right? And she sends me a picture from the ER room. Her knee is in a cast and she's got it like this giant bruise on it. And I'm like, well, what happened? She's like, I was playing soccer last night and I twisted my knee and it looks disgusting. Like it's all bruised up. So she's like, I'm in a ton of pain. I'm like, listen, we could reschedule. Don't worry about it. So
right.
I went on
Let's reschedule.
So I went on to tell my group about it. I was like, hey, just so you know, my friend Danny got injured. She was playing soccer. I said, but we're not canceling it. We're just rescheduling it. So I went on Facebook and of course, as I always do, right? When I'm done, I upload all my videos. So when I upload my videos to YouTube, I pretty much come on and that's what I did. It just so happened that I met a couple cool people about 20 minutes ago and we battled. And I don't battle, so I didn't I just kind of was like talking like I normally do. And they're like, they're doing all their stuff, right? Tap the screen, tap the stuff. Well, Beth sent me these cool like goggles, like sunglass things.
Oh yes, I see those.
Yes. And then she sent me the helmet, the racing helmet. So I wasn't expecting that. So I loved it. It was awesome. So like it was.
Yeah, they got
cool.
some new like gifts on the gallery. It's really cool. But yeah.
And it won both of our battles for us. So I wasn't even trying to win. She just came through huge.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was pretty fun. But I met 3 new people, which was cool. Like that was my like biggest benefit to that was made 3 new friends. So it was cool. So we all followed each other and we all said we'd battle again. So that was kind of neat. And then they were obviously asking me what my podcast was about, and I was telling them, and I was telling Blue, I said, she asked, and I was like, I just switched agencies. I'm joining Tiffany's agency. Now the one that I had before that Swerve, they just didn't do anything for me. I was flagged twice for, they said inappropriate comments during the live, and one was
so they did me too, and there wasn't no inappropriate comment.
Yeah, and one was on Sammy's live, and I asked her, I'm like, is it okay if I can post a link to my YouTube if anybody asks about my podcast? And she was like, absolutely. Well, I put the link in, right? Well, somebody must have saw it and either flagged me or TikTok flagged me for it and said it was inappropriate. And I was like, it was just a link. It's not like people say much worse stuff and more vulgar stuff all the time. So I asked my agency, I'm like, hey, I got this violation. Can you guys help me out? No response whatsoever. So I wait the next day and I get another message from TikTok saying I was in violation. So I screenshot that, send it to my agency, no response. So I just did it myself. Yeah. I think I was telling you about it. I basically,
you was.
So I told TikTok that I didn't do anything wrong. There's no harm. Here's the message and whatever. And TikTok said, oh yeah, it was our mistake. We're sorry. We apologize. We'll reinstate your thing for whatever. It was in like 20 minutes later, I was active and up again. But it was like the agency just let me hanging. And I'm like, what's the point of having one? Aren't they supposed to help you like get out of like that? So that was the first straw. And then the second one is they wanted me to do a battle because on my previous lives, I'm very fortunate right now that every time I go live, I always get 1,000 likes or more, right? So I'm not in the stratosphere of like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of likes, but I'm always over the 1,000 mark. So they were like, since you're doing well and your stuff is being put out, would you want to do a battle of like an agency battle? And I said, sure. I didn't know what I was doing, right? I show up to this thing and I was explained to it that everybody in the agency would be a part of this and they would all give it. And again, I'm not doing it for monetary gain, so I could care less. But nobody from my agency showed up, and my agent didn't even show up. So I was like, what's the point of being in an agency where no one does anything and your agent doesn't even show up for the live battle?
Ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
This guy, again, he's got people underneath him that make $100,000 a month on TikTok. And he buys them cars and he takes them on vacation and he gets them cruises and he does all that stuff. But you should help the little guy just as much as you help the big guy when you meet it, right? Just because I don't make $100,000 a month on TikTok doesn't mean I'm not productive or I don't do anything, right? I'm just not.
And your lives are very interesting. Sorry, I'm eating something, but
no, and,
it's interesting.
Yeah,
it's
and
like
again,
it can be like the randomest thing,
right?
And
that's
very
what
interesting.
And that's what I like about it, right? So and it's funny because all the lives that get the most views are when I talk politics, and I hate doing that. Like I don't like doing it, but like,
especially right now.
Yeah,
don't.
And
I'm telling you, do not do that.
I get baited into somebody's. What do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? And then I just give my subtle opinion. And then the next thing you know, though, I'll have 13 or 14 people in my group all talking about the same thing. And it's like...
Yeah, and your whole life becomes that.
So when I do that, even though I say I don't, I say the two things I don't talk about are religion and politics. It just seems to be that when I get involved in those conversations, that's when my numbers go way up. Everybody starts joining my live, and that's when all this stuff in the comments start flowing.
So maybe you should do the opposite of what you don't tell everybody you don't do.
Sure, and that's exactly it, right? And I don't mind having political conversations with people, right? But this is what I was telling. I forgot who I was with. Oh, I was with Tony the other day. We were live together, and he's a volunteer firefighter, and he's a good dude out of Pennsylvania. But I was like, what I say in 20 minutes is not going to change a lifetime of somebody's political views.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, no worries. But that's the only thing, right? So it's like we could have a civil conversation about disagreements, whether you're on whatever side of the fence you are, whatever side of the aisle you're on, fine. But by us talking about it, I am not going to win you over, right? Your political views are your political views, and they've probably been that way for years, if not decades. So having
red
a 20-minute
is always thinks you're red, blue is always blue, and you ain't changed it. I'm like,
and I don't want to argue with somebody. That's not my. I'll have a conversation civilly, but I don't want to get into an argument with somebody over that or lose friends because of what I think is right. It doesn't matter. I'm one person.
Absolutely.
I'm one voter out of 150 million people who can vote. My opinion is not going to matter for anybody, right? And it's on that everything, right? When we talk about wrestling, when we talk about anything. I'm one guy's opinion, right? I don't have access to the WWE or AEW.
Hey, I like Jey Uso, but not very many people like Jey Uso.
Yeah. So I have a different perspective on it just because I've been a fan for so long. But I think because I've been a fan for so long, like I understand the business aspect of it. And so when people always ask, like the biggest argument I get into, and I wouldn't say argument, I would say the biggest probably discussions I get into are always about CM Punk. Because people hate his, so everybody hates his guts. And I'm like, I understand what he does. He's a draw. He sells seats. He might not be the best wrestler in the world.
He's very entertaining.
He puts asses in the seats. His merchandise sells. So whatever you may think of him as a human being is irrelevant. For the wrestling business, he is good. He is good for the business.
Yeah.
Now, whether it's because he's controversial and people hate him and they watch because they don't like him, but they're watching. And that's all that matters. because he
Right.
can draw more eyes on him than a lot of other wrestlers who are better wrestlers can, but don't have what he has. He's got the gift. And
Absolutely.
That's, and he
Right.
hones in on that. And I give him all the props in the world. Now, personally, I don't care for him, right? But I'm not friends with him. I don't know him. I've never met him. I've never like had an interaction with him. I just don't like, I like wrestling for the sport of wrestling. Like I like guys who can compete, that are technical, and that he just kind of doesn't do it for me. But as far as
Right.
the business goes, he's great for the business. And that's what I like about him. Right. So I might not like him as a wrestler. I might not like him as a person. I don't know him as a person, but I like him
Yeah.
for what he does for the business, and he's great for the business. So
Right.
that's kind of my view. But that's, like I said, going
No,
back on
yeah.
anything, sports, politics, life, my views are my views, and I'm not going
Yeah.
to change anybody's, but I don't want to lose friends or get in arguments over what I believe. Right. And
Yeah.
I had
Approach
some
it
very,
softly. That's
Yeah,
what I do.
and I had
Like I
some
approach
very,
it very cautiously and softly.
and I'm upright. So when Sam was on here, we talked about religion a lot. He's a devout Muslim and I'm Catholic, and we shared each other's views. I said I'm not going to change my views, right? Like, but I understand where he's coming from because he has the same feelings about his religion that I do about mine, which is
Yeah.
a belief. So I respect him for that. Obviously, I'm not going to be a Muslim, and I'm not, but I didn't bash
Right.
him for it. Like he's
No.
you know, he that's his belief and what he believes.
And see, my
he
children's dad is Catholic too. So
You know,
like
yeah.
when he first came over here, he was like, first of all, I grew up Catholic. I was born into the Catholic, religion. Not going to change me.
Right.
Okay. I'm not. I didn't.
Yeah.
God did.
Yeah.
I
But
didn't
I don't
know.
Right, but I don't dwell on it either, though, right? Like,
No,
I'm
no.
Catholic, and I have my
Yeah.
faith, and I believe what I believe.
Right.
But I don't go
Absolutely.
around telling everybody I'm not going to talk to you unless you're Catholic, right? Like,
No,
that's
no.
kind of a weird way to look at life.
I
But
love
there are
talking to you.
people
So it's like,
are like that.
even
Yeah.
though
And
you
I-
have your different,
And I-
beliefs you do,
I
I
respect
don't care.
everybody's opinion and beliefs, right? And
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
All walks of life is cool, and I like learning about other stuff too, right? Like I like being
Oh,
cultured.
absolutely.
Tell me about your Baptist experience. Tell me about your, Lutheran experience. Tell me about your Muslim
Wow.
experience.
Yeah.
Like, teach me something. Let me learn something. I'm
Yeah.
totally on board with that.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
So, I
So
mean, yeah.
it's it's different. And it's the same with, same with sports, right? You could argue sports all day long.
Right.
It's a belief. It's your opinion.
It's
right?
like everybody
You
says,
can-
well, if I like LeBron James, you're going to lose like 1,000 followers compared to Kobe Bryant, So, I mean, I get what you're saying.
And again, I'm not a LeBron James fan, but what he's done for this era of basketball.
Hey,
has been good.
Monster, I love One Fun Guy podcast, and I'm with you right there. So it's okay.
Right. So, and obviously, if I have to pick, I don't think LeBron is even in my top 5 of NBA players, right? He might be top 10, but definitely not top 5. But for this era, you can't argue he's the best player of this era. And you got to give him props for that, right? So you can't compare him to Jordan. You can't compare him to Kobe. You just can't. But is he the best player of this generation? Yes, by far. And you can't, and you can argue other.
And there's
players,
arguments
right?
on that either. And it's like,
Right.
geez, let's
you
just,
can argue Steph Curry. You can argue D Wade. You can argue all these players, right? But when it comes to the brass tacks of it all, LeBron is the best player of this generation.
Right.
And
Let me
you
look at
can't
the
take
blanket.
that away.
I'm cold for some reason. I'll be right back.
Nana, what's up? Monstatter, is
But,
that
yeah.
you? You were just who I was talking about. Montaser was the guy I was talking about with that's Islam, and we were having a good conversation about religion and beliefs.
Yeah, he's like, hey,
it's-
if you F
it's
with him, you
ironic
F
that-
with me. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I love this dude, so it's okay.
So yeah, and again, like I said, I appreciate everybody's opinion, and that's what makes life fun, right? Because if everybody
Oh,
had the
yeah.
same opinion as you, it would
And
be
we all
boring,
have like
right?
conversation. We get
you'd have
conversation going
nothing
like
to-
that.
right.
So
and that's, and that's the fun thing about it, right? Like, all sports and really anything in life, right? Whether you believe
Right. Oh yeah.
in whatever you believe in, right? Even local stuff, right? Like hometown stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I like learning about different cultures and about different things, right? So, we had to talk about small town versus big city the other night when Melissa was on, right? So
Right.
I grew up in a big city, right? But my area in that big city was very tight, and that small little piece of things. But in the grand scheme of
Yeah.
things, there's 35 million people that live in Chicago. I was one of them, right? So
Right. Okay.
nothing. But
Wow.
when you have a small town, you might have 350 people in the town, right?
Right.
So Chicago's 1,000 times greater than that. Actually, 100,000 times greater when you do the math. But so that's the difference. Like
You're a
I grew
brave
up in a
soul.
big city, but I always argue, like I always tell everybody, because they're like, oh, what was it like growing up in the city? What was it like? Well, there were good things and there were bad things about it, right? But the good things were really good. Having the Museum of Science and Industry, having the Art Institute, having the
that's
Shedd
cool.
Aquarium. So I got to go to those things when I was a kid, right? Our field trips were to the Shedd Aquarium.
And we never got
They
to do
were-
that thing. Like
Right.
that.
So and when I was a kid, I'll never forget they had the pyramids at the Museum of Science and Industry. So they brought artifacts from Egypt over. So we got to see, the golden chalices. We got to see all that stuff from
Ooh.
Egypt. They brought it in. I would, if I lived in a small town, there was no way I'm experiencing that, right?
Yeah, the
Like,
only
I
thing
think-
we had that we stuff like that was science museum, but
Yeah.
it's like in Louisville. You had
right?
to go like next city over.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
So that was the better aspects of it, right? Like going to see Cubs games and Sox games, right? The stadium, going to see Bears games, Bulls games, right? I got to see the Bulls when they were it was 94. I was graduating high school, and my team won the intramural championships, and our teacher took us to the Bulls game. So I got to see the Bulls in their awesomeness. Got to Jordan, Pippen, like so.
okay.
Living in the area allowed us to do that, right? To be fans of
Right.
the greatest sports team arguably to ever exist. You could say the Yankees or the
I like the Chicago
Patriots,
Bulls.
but-
Yeah.
But I mean, that era living in Chicago was phenomenal, right? We had the best team. We that one season we only lost 10 games. I mean, that's unheard of,
Right.
but we got to experience that. And then, but being cultured was good, right? We had the architect tour in Chicago, all the buildings, all the, the history and stuff like that. So that was the benefit of living in a big city. But
Right.
the downside was it was a big city, right? You get lost relatively easy. There's, 1,000 things to do, and doing that costs money. So if you're going to go and you had money, great. But if you didn't, you were playing in parks like everybody else. It wasn't, the glamorous great thing. And then towards the mid 90s to the late 90s, when Chicago was riddled with gangs, it was ultra violent. So you really couldn't go anywhere because you had to pay attention to what was going on. It's kind of the same
Right.
way now. It's the most violent city in the
That
world.
makes sense. Yeah.
So, I mean, you really got to pay attention to where you're at and the time of day you're there and where you go and what you do. You have to be cognizant of that. So that's the downside of living in a city where when you're in a small town and you're rural, you're friends with everybody. You can go to the bar, you hang out with everybody. You don't have to worry about getting shot or getting killed because you made a wrong turn somewhere. Where in
Right.
Chicago, you do. You turn down the wrong
Right.
street.
Oh, yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. I try to protect myself and keep myself protected, even if it's a small town.
Yeah,
'Cause there's some, like,
everybody does
people
that.
that's,
but it's
like,
a lot harder
crazy.
to do in a big city, right? Because if you don't
Right.
know, and
Right.
you have to drive through all the bad neighborhoods to get to the good neighborhoods in Chicago. So if you want to
Yeah.
go downtown, unless you're coming from Indiana, which you're still going through Gary, which is rough, but you're on the highway. But in Chicago, if you take the streets in, every neighborhood to get there is rough. Mike, what's up? I tried to get you on earlier, buddy. I'm gonna see if
But
he
yeah,
wants to pop
that
in.
sounds like Louisville. Like there's some
Yeah.
good parts of Louisville, and there's some bad parts.
Yeah.
You got to go through the bad parts to drive through the good parts.
That's and that unfortunately is just the way it is. It's not,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong about it. Like I grew up in the city, but you have to be cognizant of where you're going, because if you
Yeah.
happen to get off the expressway or something happens and you get
Yeah.
off on an exit you're not supposed to get off on, it is going to be a long night for you.
Yep. Yeah. Shoo.
Especially on the south side, right? When you go, when you're in those neighborhoods, if there's a specific reason why you need to be there, you're pretty much okay. If you're going to an event or you're going to do something,
Right.
but when it's over, you find the quickest way to get back to the expressway and get on it and go home. You don't drive
No.
around those neighborhoods. You just don't.
No. Yeah. That's why I usually don't go drive at nighttime. Well, first off, because my astigmatism in my eyes, but that too. It's like never not.
Yeah,
You know?
and it's tougher. And like I said, I'm not knocking the city. Like, it's not all gangs.
No,
And it's
yeah.
not all violent. But the gangs that are here are very violent. And that's why you see on the news, on every major headline, we are probably the murder capital of the world. How many people get murdered in Chicago?
True.
I think outweighs even Rio, right? And Rio's violent, and Chicago beats
Wow.
them. So I mean, that's just,
Bless
it's
your
just the
soul.
reality, right? It's just the reality that you get. That and
Wow.
I'm in a suburb of Chicago, so like I don't deal with any of that. But you see it
Okay.
when you go downtown, and like back in my early days of my career, I dealt with that a lot. So.
Yeah. Wow. Bless your
Yeah.
heart.
So, but it gave me good insight.
Right.
You definitely learn what to do and what not to do. It gets you street cred, and
Yeah.
knowing the neighborhoods and knowing the people in it, like it gets you notarized. People
Right.
will start to recognize you and what you're doing and how that happens. So it may be a good thing, maybe a bad thing. For me, it worked out. I was able to use it as leverage later on in my career, which was really good. But I mean,
Yeah.
in the beginning, of
And
it,
we
it was-
appreciate you.
it was rough,
So-
so it was tough.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot, right? Lessons learned, a lot of them.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was, but yeah, just the little stuff like that. But so, like I said, we were talking about, the benefits of being in the city. That was one of the cool benefits of it, was getting to do all those things as a kid, where most kids don't see baseball games. And if they do, it's a trip that they take to go see a game.
Yeah.
We were going to games pretty much, every week. In the summer, that was a pretty prevalent thing. And then, like I said, going to, the museums and the shed and stuff like that, the zoo, Lincoln Park Zoo is awesome. We have Brookfield too, but Lincoln Park's free.
Oh wow. Really? Oh
Yeah.
wow.
So those
Wow.
fun things. Right?
Chicago.
Those
It sounds exciting. I like
Yeah.
Lincoln Park, so it's exciting.
so yeah, it's a cool zoo. I mean, it's nothing too out of it. But I mean, like the architect in Chicago is great too. So like we had Frank Lloyd Wright. So I mean, we had all of his houses
wow.
were in the Chicagoland area. So if you're an architect fan or if you are a contractor, you appreciate that stuff, because he was a great home designer and he designed beautiful modern homes back in the 50s and 60s. So it's cool to see, because his designs today are still being emulated. People still build houses in the way he did.
Well, yeah. Yeah. They really
yeah.
don't. Yeah.
So it's cool. Like, so the architecture is there, the history is there. Going downtown and seeing the skyscrapers is awesome. Back in the day, going to the Sears Tower and the John Hancock were free. They didn't charge you anything. You walk up and take the elevator all the way up to the 94th floor and look out the window. No one cared. Now they charge you, I think, $20 to do it.
Wow.
But, just having that access, and still being able to do that on a regular basis was super cool. So that was fun.
It sounds fun.
So yeah, there a lot of good stuff. The city had a lot of good stuff to offer. As much as bad as there was and still is, the good really outweighs it. It is a great city.
Yeah, it sounds
It's
good.
just-
I like a good
It's
city.
just it sucks because it's now everything costs. So to live in the city costs a lot of money. To live in the county costs a lot of money. To live in the state. So I mean, if you live in the city and you could afford it, God bless. But I mean, most people don't have that kind of money to afford, a condo downtown or in the West Loop is $3,500 a month.
Yeah, I don't have it.
So
I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I
yeah,
don't
and,
have
and
that.
not many people do, right? So you look at like Lake Point Towers. That's where like Sammy Sosa lived. Oprah lived there. Jordan had
Oh,
a
wow.
condo there. I mean, you're talking 13, $14 million.
Wow,
You buy two condos next to each other to share the floor. That's $30 million, right? You're 15 for one and 15 for the other.
Right. Thank you guys for the gifts for him.
If you're feeling,
Yeah.
thank you. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, that's the, like I said, that's the good thing about the city, because you get to see it, you know. And when you go downtown, you get to see Lower Wacker. You get to see where all the movies were made. You get to see the Blues Brothers and Batman and Ferris Bueller and all the other John
That's
Hughes
a cool
movies
city.
that were made in here, right? So I mean, you know, Ferris Bueller was suburb of Chicago. What's the other one? No, I can't think. Macaulay Culkin, Home Alone. So Home Alone was outside of Chicago. The Breakfast Club was filmed in a high school right outside of Chicago. Biggie,
Wow,
what's up?
Okay.
So yeah, so all those movies John Hughes did were all Chicago based.
Right. Okay.
Pretty in Pink,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
all so I mean, so that's kind of cool, right? To have that, you know, history, you know, and that
Yeah. Yeah. That is. It's like, man, that like if I had around that, it's like, wow, I live in the greatest city in the world.
yeah, I think like 10 of the Brat Pack movies were all filmed in Chicago or outside of Chicago.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool.
That's exciting.
You know, but I mean, we, like I said, it gets a bad rap just because of the violence. But I mean, it's a pretty good city. I mean, you know, in terms of totality, it's pretty awesome. It's just you got to be cautious of where you go. But that's like
Yeah.
anywhere, I guess. So
Right. Yeah. Here, it's like last year in Louisville, I think we had like 200 murders, like within the span of like, I don't know, couple, like
Yeah.
3 or 4 months into the year.
yeah, we get that a weekend.
So, huh?
We get that a weekend.
Oh my gosh. What? Wow.
I think there were 234 homicides the 4th of July weekend.
What?
yeah, so- Our counts are high.
Bless your heart.
Yeah. I mean, not to sound like bad, but I think we average like 75 killings a weekend in Chicago. So it's up there.
Everybody, we
We're
need to
high.
like get a big old bubble wrap and wrap around his house.
Yeah, right. You know, but again, you can't be scared of it. And you can't, you know, it's a number, right? And you just got to
Yeah.
adjust it. So, you know, it's
Hi,
Southern
Zombie.
Zombie, what's up?
That's one of my friends. I invited him.
Nice.
So
Awesome.
yeah.
But yeah, so it's just, you know, it's just the good and the bad. And, you know, again, you watch the YouTube documentaries and the stuff on O Block and, you know, all that,
Yeah.
that's real, right? So, you know, when you look at the old, you know, Robert Taylor homes and you look at Cabrini and you look, all that stuff was real, right? Those crimes were real. Those people were real. You know, some people were just trying to live a normal life and to be the best people they could be. And other people were trying to take advantage of everything. And they did. They
Yeah.
controlled a lot of the guns, a lot of the drugs, a lot of the killings, you know, in Chicago. So that was it, you know, and it kind of.
I think your trail comes where we go. It's like comes from like it comes from Mexico and on up and on Louisville and on to Chicago.
Yeah,
So
but we
we're
get-
like the same line.
Yeah.
It's like
You know, but a lot of our violence has been bred since the 50s, 60s, and 70s, right? So you had the Peace Stones that started out as a social organization and,
Awesome.
you know,
Yeah.
and became a gang, right? So we had a lot of that, you know, the gang life in Chicago is nothing new to us. You know, it's been that way since the 60s, 70s, through the 80s. You know, it's
so you
just
guys
that
are used to it basically, yeah.
over the course of time, they just got more violent. So, you know, you had the Vice Lords, the Peace Stones, then the GDs, you know, then they infiltrated the Hispanic gangs, you know, so you had La Raza, you have the, you know, all the Hispanic gangs that are out there, the Latin Kings
Right.
and the Latin Counts. And so, you know,
Yeah.
you have this, basically all these, you know, groups that just fought over territory when normally outside of gang life, they probably would have gotten along. But because their
Right.
gang says you have to control this territory, which controls your money and controls what you do,
Mhm.
you fight over it. And it just got more and more violent and more bloodshed. And now,
Because what I
over the
think
course
what
of time.
gangs start over is because of like just not having that stability in the home. I could be wrong because you
a lot
probably
of it,
you know
a lot of it is that they don't have parents or they do when their parents are involved in the gang life. They
Yeah.
get to the streets by the time they're 9, 10 years old. So they drop out of school. So they don't have any
Yeah.
education, and they're never going to get jobs without it. And they know that. So they start learning the streets. They start slinging dope. They
Yeah,
start
that makes
running
sense.
guns,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
they get involved in that lifestyle. And it's really a live fast, die short lifestyle, right? Some of these kids at 16, 17 years old have 10 grand in their pocket, right? They got
So
cash
I
to
mean,
go
we're
buy.
just talking. He invited me on his live, so we're just talking random
Oh, what's up?
stuff.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things, right? It's just, and then the lifestyle gets seen by people and they want to emulate that, and they, and then now you see all these rap videos and stuff like that where they're flashing gang signs and they're, driving around in their Bentleys and their Maseratis and their Ferraris, and kids are like, oh, I want that. And it's like, that's the top 1%,
Yeah, I was like, well, that's how you get it. Yeah.
So it is what it is. I mean, there's not really, much you can do, out of that.
Yeah.
So,
You all need to come together and build a fort around your home.
yeah. But
know?
it's the same now. They've gone into suburbs and they've gone more rural because they know there's no law
Right.
enforcement there. So they're not stupid either. They know how to operate, right? They know
No,
what to
yeah.
do. So
Yeah.
and it again, it's a hard life, and it doesn't generally end well. It's
Yeah.
very few of them can kind of change their ways and go back to normalcy, get a job, support a family. Most of them will end up in prison or end up getting killed.
Right. Yeah.
So it's
And that's sad.
it's not a very, it could be lucrative when you're out, but as soon as you're in, it's over. There's no more support. There's no more
you get
friends. There's no
sucked
more.
in.
You're on your own. Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
completely irrelevant when you're locked up.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys learn that lesson the hard way, right? They think that they're gonna get out and they're gonna go right back to it, and they don't.
Right.
So,
Yep. That's true.
what do you got going on the rest of the night?
Well, I was laying down until someone invited me on their live. That's okay. But anyway, I'm just relaxing. I did
Nice.
some cleaning up, and my house smells like fabuloso. So
That's not a bad thing.
proud of myself for that.
Yeah.
And then, other than that, I was just relaxing,
Nice.
so just chilling.
Yeah.
My son has a summer school, like for an hour, like 1 or 2 days a week, and so that's basically it. So
Cool.
yeah.
Very nice.
So
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna get ready to hop off here. I still got to shower and get ready for tomorrow, and then I got my podcast Friday night, so I'm gonna prep for that with a different Danny. And then,
I got you. Okay.
yeah. So I was supposed to have Danielle tonight. She goes by Danny with two N's and an I, and then my other
okay.
friend Danny, Dani. She was the one I was a guest on her podcast like 2 months ago, and so I told her to come on mine. So she's gonna be on my Friday night. But then my other friend Danny was like, hey, I got hurt. Can I do it later on when I feel better? And I'm like, when are you thinking? She's like, well, I'm off till Saturday. And I was like, well, do you want to try to do it Friday night? So if she says yes, I'm going to do a back-to-back podcast. So I'll do one and then another one, which I didn't really want to, but I really want Danny.
Well, the
on.
drinks
She's
that you
awesome.
drink, the energy drinks that you drink, you'll be set.
Yeah. So, I don't know. And we'll see.
We'll just keep you in our thoughts.
yeah, right.
Get
I mean, it
you
won't be
through
so
this.
bad. I mean, it's not
No.
the end of the world, but it's just
No.
that like it's normally doing 2 in a week is rough, which I tend not to do, but I did it as
Let
a favor
alone
for
back
her.
to back. Yeah.
Now I'm doing them. It looks like I'll be doing back to back. I'm actually hoping that Danielle says she'll do it on Saturday, because then I can do one on Friday, one on Saturday, which would be better.
Right.
let
I'm
me run
hoping
an
so
idea
too.
past you, since I have you on.
Oh gosh.
So-
Okay.
I asked my group earlier, the people who are on, if I decided to go live Saturday morning, because I usually kind of take these little trips, like I'll go drive to the lake or I'll go to the river or I'll go like, nothing far, maybe 35, 40 minutes. I'll
Right.
drive out west or I'll drive south. So I thought it would be cool to take them along on the adventure with me, just to go
Okay.
live from my truck and drive. And then wherever I was going, I would show them where I'm at. And then I would drive back with them live the entire time.
Okay.
So I got a bunch of positive feedback. However, some people were saying that I'm going to be in violation because I'm driving.
Okay, yes. Okay, so I got a violation for driving and I was suspended like 3 days. 3 days. But I had I don't know what you kind of loop. So if you like put your phone like upside down where it's like pointing up to your ceiling, like your roof, you won't be in violation. Like I've been on live with my phone in my seat.
What two people told me was I should do is one of them said to use a green screen, like do the gingerbread man or do that so they don't see you driving.
Correct.
And then the second one told me that I should say that it's an F1 teaching. That if you
Never heard of that.
if you say you're like teaching about F1 and you're driving, they look past it because you're like teaching somebody how to drive basically.
Don't get me wrong.
I have no idea. So I thought my philosophy was no risk, no reward. However, if I do that on Saturday and I am in violation, that means that Saturday night and Sunday I can't go live. And that's my biggest bread and butter, the bulk of my weekend to get my hours up for my new agency to get to 20 hours a month. So if I lose that, I'm out.
You're pancake and toast.
But I really thought it would be cool to do the adventure thing because everyone was like, well, you go anyways. Why don't you just take us with?
So he's in Illinois.
The filter. Yeah. So I guess I could do the filter, but then you don't see me doing anything. I'm just a gingerbread man. So you don't get I could say, hey, I'm going to the lake.
You don't get this.
Right. So the only thing I could think of is to go live with the green screen. And then when I get out of my vehicle, I would still be live, take it off, and then show them where I'm at, whether it's the river, the lake. So this Saturday, I was going to go get these gourmet cookies.
Right.
They're in a town called Rockford, which is about an hour and 20 minutes from my house. But they make these cookies that are like crumble cookies on steroids. D, what's up? Long time no see. So they're stuffed. So they're like, you bite into them and like there's like caramel and like Reese's in the cookie. So they're like supposed to be super delicious. So I thought if I went there, I could take everybody on the ride with me, go eat a cookie, give the review of the cookie, and then drive home. But
he is trying, you guys. He is trying so hard.
D, I'm good. I'm just giving my rundown of what I want to try to do this weekend. But if I'm in violation, right now I have no agency to back me up because I'm in between. And if I do get stuck Saturday morning, then I can't come back until Tuesday, which I wouldn't be live anyways, which means I would lose my Saturday night and my Sunday morning, which are my two bigger lives. So I don't know if the risk is worth the reward as much as I want it to be.
Not in that aspect, it's not. But what you could do is just like, I know you probably want to show everybody like how like to get there from point A to point B.
Well, it would just be, they're all back roads anyway, so it's not anything like, it's not like an adventurous drive. It's all, like I said, back road.
It's all back road, yeah.
So it wouldn't be anything overly predominant. It would just have been fun to go live because for me to wake up and come down here and talk for an hour is no big deal. I could do it. But then I'd have to do it again Friday night. Then I'd have to do it again Saturday night, Sunday afternoon. to go live for an hour and a half, an hour and a half. So I figured if I got in my truck and did it, I'm going somewhere anyways, which I normally do on the weekends.
Right.
It would
Okay.
be cool to have them, and then I could be live, and then I would get my time in because it's an hour there, spend a half an hour there, and then an hour back. So I'm 2.5 hours just doing something I would have normally done anyways, just taking
Right.
everybody along for the ride.
Aw.
So I thought I'd try it and see, but I'm getting mixed reviews because some people are saying just go ahead and do it, see what happens. And then other people are like, well, if you are in violation, you don't have an agency, you're going to lose your 3 days or 5 days, whatever they give you.
I agree on that part. What I did is I just put my phone, like I'll show you an example. Like I put my phone upside down where my the screen is facing up, where
Sure.
they're not actually like seeing your face.
Which is awesome, but then I can't read the comments.
Right.
Like, I would not be
You're
able
like
to
texting
interact.
and driving, or you're like, I wish
So-
I get, yeah.
So LaQuincy told me that if I go to Bluetooth and I put the audio on my TikTok instead of my radio, that I can set it up to where it would read the comments as they're coming through. So I could physically hear them. I don't have to read
Okay,
them.
I've seen people do that too. So yeah, he's correct.
Right. Now, the problem is if I'm doing a green screen, I don't know if that works. So I haven't figured out the logistics of it.
Not techno on
So-
that part.
I thought if I tried it and something
Right.
happened, it wouldn't be so bad. But then I'm like thinking to myself, like, if I do get suspended, then I lose my 2 big days, which is Saturday and Sunday. Because I always go live Saturday night for like 2 hours while my video's editing and I upload it to YouTube, which is my prime time. Because I always go on at like 8 to 10 or 9:30 to 10:30 or 11:30 or 12 or however long I'm on. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
2 or 3 hours. If I lose that, then I lose that right in the weekend and then I can't make it up. And the
Right.
agency wants to see that I'm going live 20 hours a month. And the only way for me to do that is to do 6 hours every weekend for the 4 weekends and get the 24 hours. It's the
Right.
only way I'm going to be able to do it, to be part of their group. Because without it, that's their minimum requirement is 20 hours a month.
Right. In my honest
Which-
opinion, what I would do, I would just like go to where like say a lake or whatever you was wanting to go, and then when you get out of your car, just go live there, and then while you can read the comments, and then you could always pause your live, and then when you, so that would still be
So
like you're
here's
still live. So
right, but my point was that I wanted to stay live during the drive because that's an hour that I would just be on.
I
I
got
would
you.
be-
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Right. So for 2.5 hours that it would take me from 8 in the morning to 10 in the morning to get home, that entire time if I'm live, I count those as hours clocked in.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm slow.
So that's where I wanted to do it. So that way I could do a 2.5
Yeah.
hour Saturday morning and then do a 2.5 hour Saturday night and then do a 2
Right.
hour Sunday.
I get
And
what
I'm
you're
at
saying. Sorry.
Right. And then I'm at the 6 hours. Because Friday night's a toss up, right? Sometimes I get
Yeah.
on and I'm on for an hour, nobody's on, and I'm talking to myself.
Right.
It's like talking to a mirror. So like I'll hop off right away. Saturdays are usually my bigger nights where I get, 10, 12, 13 people in my group.
Right.
And I'm hitting, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 likes.
Yeah.
So those are bigger shows. I don't really want to afford to lose that.
No.
But I'm losing my time though if I don't, because that means that when I get home on Saturday, I have to clock in at 9 in the morning or 10 in the morning and stay live till 11 or 12, which I don't want to do, because if no one's on, then again, I'm sitting and talking to a mirror. And I don't want to be the person that like sets up my stuff and then walks out of the room and just leaves the live on my back screen just to get the hours in.
Some
'Cause
people do that.
Or they'll go to sleep, right? They'll
Yeah,
go live
I've done
at
that once.
1 in the morning and they'll fall asleep with people watching them sleep. Which, I mean, I don't care. It's good if you need the numbers for your agency, but
Yeah.
I want to be interactive. And I thought a way to do that would be to take everybody on my little adventures when I go, just so that they could see where I'm going and where I'm at. And then it
Right.
takes up 2 to 3 hours of my time.
I would just try the filter with like the auto like you're reading the
Yeah.
comments for you. I would try that
Right.
But if you like, as soon as you get, I don't know, but
Yeah.
I would just risk it and like not even risk it at all. But I mean,
Right.
you know, well, who am I to say?
No, and that's the thing. Like, I don't
Okay.
know. That's why, I'm kind of asking everybody, like, what to do, and basically, like,
Use your best judgment. Use like, it's
because, like,
okay.
everyone said to do like
Aww.
this, right? Because you can't have the background on you. That's the biggest thing. So any other
Yeah.
filter that you would do, like a cool one like this, you would still see the road and the seat behind me. So I have to do something that's
Right.
like completely like out of the
There we go.
ordinary,
I'm just playing.
right? Now I look like Captain Lou with the earrings on the cheek. Where's Madonna?
This is
when you need
great,
her?
y'all. This is great, y'all. Oh God.
I mean, I could do something like that. I don't know, like, because I don't know what's, but I'd have to do something where the background
There we
behind me
go.
is the green screen.
Oh, that's cute. That was cute.
I wonder if this would work. See, because then you
Right.
could still see
Me too, D. He's got me just rolling over
the
here.
background, right?
I like that one.
I wonder if like this would work. So I could do this, I guess, technically, right?
I don't know. You
So
killed
the
me.
thing
Oh
is
my
that
God.
like they said if you do it though, you can't move. Like I can't. Nothing behind me would be able to tell that I'm driving. That would be the biggest thing.
Okay.
So I have to do a screen where it's behind me, like something like this, where you can't see anything. Right?
Oh my God.
I wonder what like background is like.
Oh my gosh.
So like I could do something like this, I guess. I just can't move. Can't move around a lot.
Oh, I've had like a really like bad couple days, so I appreciate this. You have no idea. Making my night. Thank you so much.
I guess that wouldn't be so bad if you can't see the.
Oh my gosh.
Who's calling me? Elon Musk, I
Oh
hope.
my gosh. I don't want to know.
Where's my money?
You look younger. Hey, where did your beard go?
The vampire. I'm wondering if I could just do a straight background though. If there's anything that's like.
Oh, there we go. It's a much bigger beard.
What is space do?
Oh, it's the little bot thing.
Yeah, you can control them.
Oh. Oh, I'm so
If
done.
you wave your arm, see he waves.
Oh my gosh.
Kevin's bed is
Oh God. Oh wow. I'm like crying, y'all. Oh, this is awesome.
Maybe I'll just keep the
That
robot
is
on.
awesome, D. That is awesome.
I can't even see the comments though. Hey, bot.
D said, I can't stop.
Right? It's fun. It's the little stuff that makes it entertaining.
Yeah. Thank you. I
wouldn't mind the
appreciate it.
American flag minus those stupid glasses. Why would they put that on?
What glasses?
On the American flag background, do you have those
Oh, yeah,
Elton
yeah.
John star glasses?
I don't know. I saw one person that was on my live that actually had those, but I don't know.
It's cool minus the glasses. I wish you could just do the flag.
Right. Yeah. The bot loves you, apparently.
It's great. It's kind of nice. He'll float in your hand. Get him down. There we go. Hey, just flip him back up.
This is awesome, y'all. Oh, God.
It is
Thank you
cool.
for that.
I don't know. Can you high five him? I wish you could like spin him
No.
around or something. Can you do?
Yeah, I don't know. Look, he's just waving and then. Oh, gosh. This guy kills me.
You know, it's cool.
It is.
I wish it would do something cool, like if you said like if it could talk or something.
Right.
But nonetheless, it's pretty awesome.
I do. I love it too. He's just a crackerjack, man.
You know, hey, you gotta make it fun, right? It's gotta be enjoyable for a little bit, anyway.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I'm better now. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm live for 90 minutes. I can't believe it.
That's 90 minutes?
Yeah.
Whoa, that went like super fast. Like it just went on. Holy
Yeah.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Dee,
Okay.
Dee's a good friend. She's one of my OGs. She's like you.
Oh, that's awesome. We love you, Dee.
Been around for a long time supporting. It's
That's
crazy
awesome.
because like when you first get on TikTok and you do those like follow trains and stuff like that, people
Right,
like
yeah.
follow you in like a week, right? So you're like, you know, it's just so weird. And then like when you actually find like friends that you like, it's cool, right? And so like I
Right.
have very few of them. Surprisingly enough, like on TikTok, like I've made some really close friends, but they're not abundant, right? Most of the people that I come across on my live and we talk and we do stuff, but like they wouldn't come live with me, right? Dee came live on my show one night. I had Melissa come on one night, but for the most part, like I don't like you forge genuine friendships through the people that like you interact with the most, and then like you could actually talk to, and it's just weird because like a lot of my friends on here, the people that I follow, there's only a handful of them that I actually have conversations with. You know,
Yeah,
we'll message
it's like
back and
it's like
forth.
the Southern Zombie guy that came on. He's a really close friend of mine. You know, and
now
we
Kelly
just
is
so
me and him met because I follow Kaji, right? So there's no secret that like he's kind of like my TikTok guy. But Kelly is a metalhead too, and we just started talking, and we're actually kind of local, so he's about an hour from me. So he wants to do the podcast in person, but I messaged him earlier because like I was talking about Kuma's, the burger place. It's an awesome place in the Chicagoland area.
oh no, yeah.
But
My live might go out or my thing might go out because my phone is like 15%.
I'm only gonna stay on for like 2 more minutes, so I'm just gonna finish the Kuma story and then get off.
Okay, I don't want to like get off here and not say bye to you.
No, I'm gonna end it too. I got a bunch of stuff I gotta do and I gotta get ready for work tomorrow too. So
Okay.
Where's the right
yeah,
arm?
but-
Well,
Where's the right arm?
but yeah, I would just look into that. Like, I mean, I was
Al
just
Jury,
like
what's
with
up?
the whole like the background thing.
yeah,
I would
see.
try
I
that
don't know
and
if
then-
I'm gonna try it and see what happens and kind of go from there. And the thing is that like I don't know if I'm gonna have anybody on, right? Like if I'm
No.
doing this and there's only one person watching, there's no point of like doing it. I'll just stay live and turn it off on anything and just to be live just to be live. But if it's interactive and like people are actually on, like I want it to be like cool. I don't want it to be like
No,
I wanted it
right?
to be fun, not just everybody watch me drive, right? Like I wanted to interact.
No, right?
So-
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's been fun. I appreciate your
It has.
invitation. It's
Yeah,
like
and so-
nice meeting you too.
Yeah, so you guys should follow each other and then be friends, and then we'll one of these days
Yes.
we'll all get
Yes.
on together and we'll do live. Like I said, Dee's old school. She's an OG for me. She's
Nice.
She's been there since the beginning for me, one of my big supporters. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. You need
Yeah.
all the support you can get.
yeah, that's true. I take it where I can get it, and I
Yeah.
appreciate it. And I always tell everybody, right? Like, I don't need the gifts, and I don't need just subscribe to my YouTube.
But
That's
you
all I ask
appreciate
for, right?
it.
I appreciate it, yeah, and I'm flattered,
Yeah.
right, when I get it. Like, Beth sent me those those glasses tonight, and that helmet. I wasn't
Yeah, I've
expecting
seen
it. It was
that.
awesome, and I thanked her for it, but she didn't
Yeah.
have to do that. I'm grateful that she did. Trust me, I am. But I didn't need it, but it was awesome to get it. So I definitely feel,
What's up, Bloistered? That's one
Love
of
when it
my other
happens.
my followers.
so
My followers are coming in here now.
yeah.
Hey, go give him a follow. If you follow me, go follow him. That's the
Same.
rule.
If you guys follow me, follow Sylvia, follow Dee, follow my OGs. They're my OGs. So.
Oh,
All right, well,
gosh.
I'm gonna hop on off of here, and I will see you probably
Have
Friday
fun with
night
your
then.
bot.
That'll be it was
Don't cause
awesome.
no more
I
trouble.
wish I could pull him off the screen and put him here, have him follow me around. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a
Oh,
real
God.
one. I don't know. You never know.
Have
Right?
a good night.
Okay. All right. Later, guys.
Bye.
All right. Bye. All right, guys. So real quick before I get off, all I'm going to say is if you follow me, I'll follow you back. I'm One Fun Guy Podcast across all the platforms, guys. So if you follow me, I'll follow you back. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Catch me on Facebook, TikTok. Sylvia's still on, so that's cool.
Sorry.
But it's all good. So if you guys like what you see, just subscribe to me. I'll appreciate that much more than you could ever imagine. If you follow me, I'll follow you back. Bot says the same thing. So if you're on with me, thank you for all the love and support. I appreciate you. I'll be back on Friday night. Everybody have a good rest of the week, and I will see you soon.